by probably talking about three things. First of all, I forgot to mention my name, and it's because I saw a guy in the room who I never thought he's going to be here. So he made me forget my name. My name is Peter Ndiangui, and glad to be here. So three things we want to talk about identity and the philosophy about why am I doing what I'm doing. But before even we got there, let me just briefly speak to where am I coming from. So I grew up in Nyeri. So if you hear me interchange L's and R's, you can understand. And grew up in Nyeri, brought up in Nyeri, and then I had a chance to come to Nairobi and live here for the first time after high school. But my dad said no. So what he said to me was, what you're going to do is to actually get a farm right here, and I want to know a little bit about you as you grow whatever you want to grow. So he gave me a small farm, about an acre, for a couple of months. This was before we entered university, because it used to be like a year before you get to a public university. So in that farm, I wasn't sure what to grow there. I actually hadn't done agriculture in school. So I decided to grow some cabbages because I had seen my uncle growing some cabbages. And when I grew those cabbages, there was a huge drought that happened, and we were not allowed to water cabbages because it was municipal water. So I'd wake up at night at 2 a.m. to water cabbages, and then at about 4 a.m. then I would go back to sleep. So that entire process took about 2 months, and then after a couple of months, there was some rain, and those cabbages became really, really big. And one of the high schools around where we lived decided to purchase all of them. And when they purchased, the first harvest gave me some money that I had never seen. And so now I was here going to university. This is the 90s, for those who think I'm young. And I had quite a number of, quite a huge amount of money than what university students would get for a loan. So I get into university, and I'm thinking, wow, actually I'm good at this. And I go on with university, and I had some entrepreneurship happening because of that capital. And after I finish, I go down under to Australia to study. And when I get to down under, I study and get into management consulting. The people who are here who might have done consulting know that you do well in selling slides, right? So you sell slideware to businesses and tell them what to do or what they can do. So it creates a feeling of bravado. It creates a sense of, I can do everything. And during when I'm in Aussie, I get headhunted by a huge enterprise that is starting to invest in an internet business right here in Nairobi. And that became OLX, and I became the driver of OLX in a couple of markets in the continent. So once again, my bravado and my sense of bravery and the sense of achievement from my young, rural, growing up boy in Nyeri is being lifted up. I'm becoming more and more arrogant, right? Here I am coming from Aussie here. I have about 5 billion in advertising budget to drive this growth of this business across the continent. And so I am becoming more and more arrogant. At some point in 2017, or thereabout, the folks in the global office of OLX tell me now, we want to sell this business or close it down because it just doesn't seem to be making a lot of traction. And so thereon, I need to make a call. Am I going to look for another job? Am I going to continue with these guys because they are offering me an opportunity outside of the country in Dubai or in South Africa? Or what actually should I do? And I'm in my 40s then. And so I had always thought about running a business. And because of all this bravado that has been built in me, I'm thinking, look, anything that I'm going to touch now is going to be magic. I can raise any money from anyone because of my exposure, because of my experience, and because of what I've built. So that's my mindset. That's my bravado speaking. And so I happened to meet my co-founder, who's also coming from another big brand. She was in Amazon. So here we are, two returnees from the diaspora, great experience. And now we are thinking, anything we touch from here, everybody would want it. And anyone can actually be able to fund us and want to fund us. So I decided to start the business that we run today called GoBeba. Now, after I officially leave OLX, I mean, I have enough resources to take me for a couple of years without having to think about a job. But now here is a shocker. I go for a family meeting and there are some guests who are coming in, and my father and my sisters are introducing me. So previously, it was very, very easy. In fact, they took a lot of pride in me because they would say, have you ever seen that OLX ad? That's the guy who runs it. No, there's a lot of pride in a parent, in a sister, in a brother, in introducing, that guy is the one who runs that thing. So now, what's the introduction here? So I could see that they are having problems because they are saying, you know, you knew that thing called OLX? That's the guy who used to run it. And today, I saw the same thing when Bobby tried to introduce me right here. He said, you know, this is a guy that used to run OLX. So that's the identity that has been baked. And that identity has also baked a lot of bravado in you of false self idea of achievement. And I think a lot of us here who might leave corporate and go into entrepreneurship, this might be the first thing that you face. Who are you? For as long as your identity among your family members, among your friends, amongst even other people was driven by what you did, that becomes a huge part of your identity. And so for me, that was the first night that I asked myself, actually, okay, so who I am? Who am I? If my own father is having a problem introducing me, my own sister is having a problem introducing me, actually, who am I? And it went on because now we start this business and I have to go and introduce myself to potential partners. So you go to the gate and the guard asks you, so I hope everybody can understand Swahili here. Tuseme we ni nani? You know, who are you? You know, that's the security guard is asking me. So previously it was very easy because I would say, okay, this is so-and-so from OLX. And oh, yeah, and the gates would open. So I go to this potential partners meeting, and I'm there for about 30 minutes, trying to call the guy because he's in a meeting to tell him, tell the guys to open the gate for me, right? I go to a service station because our initial business model was to deliver gas from service stations. And I go to the service station in Lavington, and we are saying, look, we want to put a poster here that we can deliver gas to people from this station. And we will pick the gas first and deliver it to the person's home. Then the guy is okay with that idea. But then before I leave, he asked me, hey, wait a minute, what about if you don't return the cylinder? I'm now trying to explain myself you should trust me because I'm so and so. No, just tell me, how do I know and trust you're going to bring back the cylinder? So at that point, I tell the guy, I'm going to leave 5,000 deposit for the cylinder when it's picked. He says, no problem, but just know, only that one cylinder can be delivered. If you need to do another one simultaneously, then you have to leave another deposit of 5,000. So these thoughts start now to occupy me. We go to raise capital, and we are thinking, I'm thinking myself that this is very, very easy to actually do this. And it's almost now a year of trying to raise capital, and everybody asks, show me how this business even scales. And I'm thinking, I've done multinational, multi-country ventures. Why? I can't say that directly to an investor. It's their money. But that's what now is going through my mind. I know how to do this thing. I can scale this thing. At some point, this whole identity